Motorola Moto G 2025. So, you want a phone that's affordable, has 5G, a 120Hz display, and a big battery, but you don't want to spend a fortune? Well, the Motorola Moto G 2025 just dropped, and it might be exactly what you need. But is it really worth it? Or are you better off looking elsewhere? Let's find out. This phone just launched in January 2025, bringing a 6.7-inch screen, a Dimensity 6300 chip, and a 50MP main camera. But with competition heating up, does it stand out? Let's go through every detail, from design to performance to battery life, so you know if it's the right phone for you. When you first pick up the Moto G 2025, it doesn't feel like a typical cheap phone. The eco-leather back gives it a premium touch, making it feel better in the hand than most plastic-backed phones in this price range. It's also fairly lightweight at 193g, meaning it won't feel too bulky in your pocket. The frame is plastic, but that's expected in this segment. One thing Motorola has done right is adding a water-repellent coating, which won't save it from a deep dive in the pool but will protect it from accidental splashes and light rain. Now, let's talk about the display, because this is where things get interesting. Motorola went with a 6.7-inch IPS LCD that refreshes at 120 Hz. This means scrolling through social media or playing games will feel smooth. However, here's the catch: the resolution is only 720 by 1604 pixels. In an era where even budget phones come with full HD displays, this might be a deal breaker for some. If you're someone who watches a lot of YouTube or Netflix, you might notice the lower sharpness. But if you're upgrading from an older budget phone, you probably won't mind. Under the hood, the Moto G 2025 is powered by MediaTek's Dimensity 6300 processor. Now, this isn't the most powerful chip out there, but it's good enough for everyday use. Scrolling through apps, messaging, watching videos, and even light gaming run without major issues. But if you're someone who likes to play heavy games like Genshin Impact or Call of Duty Mobile, this phone won't give you the smoothest experience. However, for games like PUBG or Mobile Legends at lower settings, it works fine. The storage options are 64GB or 128GB, both with 4GB RAM, and yes, there's a dedicated microSD card slot. This is a big plus, especially since many brands have started removing expandable storage from their budget phones. Now, let's talk about the camera, because this is one area where budget phones often struggle. Motorola has given the Moto G 2025 a 50MP main sensor with optical image stabilization (OIS), and that's actually impressive at this price point. The OIS helps reduce blur when taking photos, especially in low light conditions. But don't expect flagship level images. In good lighting, the photos are sharp and detailed, but at night, you'll start to notice noise and loss of detail. The second camera is a 2MP macro lens, and honestly, it's mostly there to increase the camera count. It's not very useful in real-world scenarios. For selfies, you get a 16MP front camera, which is decent for video calls and casual social media posts. It records video at 1080p, and that's the same for the rear camera as well. There's no 4K recording here, but that's expected in this price range. If you're wondering about battery life, the Moto G 2025 packs a 5000 mAh battery, which easily lasts a full day or more. Whether you're watching YouTube, scrolling through Instagram, or texting, you won't have to worry about running out of charge midday. And when you do need to charge, the 30W wired charging isn't the fastest out there, but it's better than the 10W and 15W chargers some budget phones still come with. One of the best things about Motorola phones is their software experience. The Moto G 2025 runs on Android 15, and it's nearly stock Android, meaning no heavy bloatware, no unnecessary UI skins, just a clean, fast experience. Plus, you get regular security updates, which is something not all budget brands promise. For security, there's a side-mounted fingerprint sensor, which is fast and reliable. And yes, there's a 3.5mm headphone jack, so if you still prefer wired earphones, Motorola has got you covered. When it comes to connectivity, this phone supports 5G, so if you're in an area with 5G coverage, you'll get faster internet speeds. Other features include Wi-Fi 6E, Bluetooth 5.4, NFC, and stereo speakers with Dolby Atmos, which actually sound better than most phones at this price. Now, let's talk about pricing and availability. The Moto G 2025 is priced at around €190, which translates to roughly $200, but keep in mind that prices may vary depending on where you live. It was officially released on January 30th, 2025, and is already available in multiple markets. If you're interested in buying it, keep an eye out for deals and discounts, because Motorola often offers price cuts shortly after launch. So, is the Moto G 2025 worth it? If you're looking for an affordable phone with 5G, a smooth 120Hz display, and a big battery, it's definitely a solid option. But if a full HD display or a stronger processor is important to you, you might want to look at other options. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think about the Moto G 2025? Would you buy it? or do you think there are better phones out there for the price? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if this video helped you, make sure to like and subscribe.